A lot of people have said, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Fathers have reached out to me and said, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. My sons are going to watch your videos because I really hope they don't go down the red pill rabbit hole. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with left or center. I'm not a political person. I mean, I am personally, but my podcast has nothing to do with politics. It really is, let's help these guys see that women aren't the, pariahs that podcasts in the red pill space make them out to be.
You're talking about black pill descriptors?
I'm talking about people who listen to red pill content.
Yeah, I know, but that's not where, even the guys that you stated, Tate, all those guys, they don't say that that's all women want. What they say is that if you want to heighten your chances for dating the type of woman that you want, right, you would work on male self-improvement, and here's things that you could do to do that.
That is not what they say.
Yes, okay. It is what they say.
They say you should, if women only want high-status men, that's what they say.
No, they don't say only either.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so listen. Do you understand that, like, if you work at a fucking Starbucks as a woman and you're dating a janitor, he's high status to you, right?
What?
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
If someone's working at Starbucks and they're dating a janitor, that man's high status?
Yeah, if he's making $29 an hour as a fucking janitor and you're a barista, he would be high status, right?
I don't know that they'd see it like that, but okay.
Okay, well, how do they see it? You tell me.
They see it as like, I like this guy, I don't want to date him. I think that's what they see.
Okay, no. How do these red pillars see it?
They see it as no one who works as a janitor will get a woman.
No, they don't see it that way.
Yes, they do.
No, you're totally.
They do.
You're totally wrong on this.
No, I'm not.
These guys.
So have I.
Who? Which ones?
The people who write me. Oh, you talking about the content creators? Yeah. I'm talking about the people who follow this shit.
I'm talking about the content creators you're talking about.
I'm talking about the actual people who listen to it, and they write me, and they say, there's no way a woman would date somebody who works at McDonald's, and that's not true.
They are, listen, I don't know what these individuals are telling you.
Well, talk to the individuals.
But I'm going to tell you what the content creators are saying.
Okay.
And by the way,
I also watch what they say.
Okay, well, here's what they say. Here's what Myron Gaines would agree to, and I guarantee Andrew Tate would agree to it. I guarantee you that both of those guys would, and I know Brian would as well. Okay? They're trying to say that, of course, men should work on male improvement. That doesn't mean that all women on planet Earth are only going to want you if you're in the top 1% or the top 15%. That's fucking absurd.
If that's absurd, then tell me why every red pillar I come across believes that.
They don't.
They do.
They don't.
Every red pillar I come across believes that.
You know what? Show me a message.
I'll show you. Go through my TikTok. Just go to my TikTok right now. Scroll through my comments.
No. Just show me a single DM.
I didn't say DM. I said comments.
Oh, in the comments.
Yeah, so what? So what? That doesn't count. People, red pillars can't comment. Red pillars can't. Oh yeah, no, you're not sure. You're not sure. They can write the words. The words aren't there.
Trying to answer.
No, you're not. You're bad faith again.
I'm not sure that it's legitimate. No,
it's
because
not legit, yeah.
That it legitimately comes from Myron Gaines, who would not tell you that a janitor can't date a woman at Starbucks. That's fucking crazy. He would never say it in a million years. I know the guy. He would never say that shit.
I'm telling you that when I ask women, would you date someone under 6 foot tall? Every guy in there says that's just not true. That's just not true. That's just not true. Because they believe the shit that they're seeing from this stuff.
That's bullshit.
No,
and
it's not.
The thing.
It's not bullshit. It's true. And this is the point that I'm trying to make. Every guy who listens to Red Pill, and let me tell you something. The fact that you don't care about these fucking guys is the problem. You don't care about these guys.
I don't believe you.
Andrew, let me tell you something. Do you think there's a problem with male unalives in this country?
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing about it?
Well, I mean, the first thing I did was advocate an anti-war position because PTSD is what led to a lot of the unaliving stats.
That's some of the stats, but there's other people that aren't in the military that unalive themselves.
What was your question?
What do you do to help these people?
And do you think that advocating for an anti-war stance... That doesn't help people.
When someone has what happened? Let's say there is no more war and people still have PTSD. What do?
Well, they get treatment.
Okay, so you believe in treatment
for PTSD? There's lots of men's groups which are good for treatment.
Do you believe in treatment for severe depression?
In some cases.
What cases wouldn't you advocate for it?
It would depend on the criteria for severe.
What do you mean
I
severe?
can't get out of fucking bed in the morning and all I think about is unaliving myself?
Yeah, like the incels, 95% of them report that.
You may have to have medical... No, they don't.
Yes, 95%
they do. Don't report that they can't get out of bed in the morning.
95% report severe depression. Yeah, of course you do, because you don't give a shit about people...
Because it's not true.
You don't care about people unaliving themselves.
That's literally not true.
Do you believe in therapy?
In some cases, therapy can be helpful. And in other cases, it fucks people up.
Okay. What cases is therapy messing people up?
Well, so psychology... Okay, let's get into it. Psychology is the study of the mind. Can you tell me, what is the disease process for you to diagnose a person with a psychological disorder?
I don't know, but I do know that...
Because doesn't it fucking exist? That's
okay, so what? That doesn't mean therapy doesn't work.
Okay, how does it work?
Have you looked into studies about CBT?
CBT, like the marijuana stuff?
No, that's CBD.
What is CBT?
You don't know about cognitive behavioral therapy?
No. What is it?
Well, then
What is it?
it's one of the most successful versions of therapy that have helped a lot of people get out of depression.
Okay, what does it do?
It's a talk therapy that basically shows cognitive
Got it.
dissonances
So it's a
in your
study
mind.
of the mind.
It's not a study of the mind.
Yes, well, it has to be because
No, it's talk therapy where
talk therapy doing what?
to help you elevate your mood and get you out of bed.
And could you go with like, oh, I don't know, an instrument and do a little test on a guy and be like, oh, your depression level was here and now it's here.
Do you know how people
Answer my question
do you know how,
and then ask me a
do
question.
you know how people
Answer
typically
it and then ask.
No, because that's not how it's tested.
Yeah, right, exactly, because it's not
Because that's
disease.
not how it's tested.
Not a fucking
because
disease.
that's not how it's tested.
Depression's
You said
not a
answer the question and
disease.
then I could say. So here I am
Yeah.
saying that's not how it's tested.
Yeah, because it's not a disease.
Depression's not a disease?
No.
This is why I know that out there, if you're depressed, Andrew doesn't give a shit
It's
about you.
not a disease.
Andrew doesn't give a shit about you if you're depressed. It's not a disease. It's just something in your head.
I will bet you $100 right now you can get your cell phone and look up if depression is actually a classified disease.
For the record, if you have
Come on,
if
bet.
you have depression,
Bet.
if you have depression, Andrew doesn't care.
Is
It's not
it
a
a
disease.
disease?
Cognitive behavioral therapy doesn't work.
Is it a disease? Bet, $100.
Yes.
Okay, then go grab your phone.
No, I'm not
bet.
grabbing shit.
You're not going to bet?
No.
Because it's not a fucking disease.
So people aren't.
That's not-
that's
that's
the
not
camera I need to
disease.
look at.
If you're gonna like talk to the audience,
Yeah.
this camera.
If you
not
have
a
severe
disease.
depression, Andrew doesn't care if you get help. He doesn't think you should get help because
When
it's
did I say
bullshit.
that?
Because depression isn't real, by the way.
Did I say
Depression
that?
is not a real thing.
Did I
It's
say
not a
any of
disease.
that?
It's not a disease.
not a
So that
disease.
means you shouldn't get it treated because it's not
What?
considered a disease.
So, okay, so I don't understand. How do we get from depression's not a disease, and that means that depression doesn't exist?
You don't believe in the treatments for it.
No. What I was trying to demonstrate to you is that psychology is a study of the mind, and because of this, you can actually do interventional treatments on people which do more damage than good. Because
Show me a study that it does more damage than good.
do you know what? So you want psychologists to start studying in their own field where 60, 70% plus of the studies can't be replicated and govern their own field by telling you that the studies that they're making are bad?
Therapy isn't real to Andrew because you can't replicate it.
Therapy
for
is
the record.
bullshit. Yeah, psychology
Therapy
is bullshit.
is bullshit. I asked him if he thinks therapy
Psychology
is real.
is bullshit, yes.
I asked him if therapy is real. He said some instances. Now it's bullshit. The real truth comes out.
There can be therapeutics that work, yes, but therapy by and large, in and of itself as an occupational, is bullshit, and psychology is bullshit, yeah.
There are several studies that show the improvement.
Oh,
of
there's
people
several
with severe-
studies that are done by the same people who are studying the mind.
If you're depressed, Andrew doesn't care about you. I just want to point that out.
I don't understand. When did I say depression's not real?
You don't care about the treatment.
Yeah. When did I say that
You
I
don't
didn't
care
care
about
about
the
a
treatment.
treatment?
You don't because you don't believe it exists.
Do you know that you can treat depression with things like hormone replacement therapy?
That's one avenue.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't understand. If I would recommend that you would do things like hormone replacement therapy under the guide of an actual medical doctor, right? Who didn't get a fucking arts degree in psychology, by the way, but an actual MD, right? Who gives you something like hormone replacement. That stuff is truly effective for treating this type of stuff. There can be limited instance of men's groups which seem to help with PTSD and things like this, but by and large, psychology is a fucking crock of shit. Go ahead and demonstrate for me why it's effective.
Okay, so if you have severe depression, maybe get some hormone therapy. That's what Andrew's recommending.
No.
Instead of going.
What are you
to
recommending?
To seek out a therapist, read a book.
What's
do
the
something.
cure rate for the severely depressed?
CBT has significantly improved people with severe depression.
CBT has. How
Yes.
many?
I don't have the study in front of me, but it's significant.
How much?
It's significant,
You
just
don't
like you
know?
said earlier.
You don't know?
You said earlier,
Yeah,
significant.
I doubt
that was an acceptable answer
I
before. It is
doubt
now
it.
too.
I doubt
of course
it.
you do, because you don't care about people with
I
severe
don't
depression.
believe you, yeah.
You don't care about people with severe depression.
What
you
are
don't
you
give a shit.
talking about?
You don't care about them
Because
so many
I
people in
don't
the
get-
red pill community have severe depression,
This
and
is
you
the
don't care.
weirdest- one of the
So many
weirdest-
people in the red pill
Yeah,
community have
I
severe
know.
depression,
Yeah, get
and
it
you
out.
don't give a shit.
So you have to understand how illogical this is, how much it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it's all
Me
bullshit.
saying that you should be guarded in the treatment of psychology means that I don't care about people who have depression. Can you explain that logic to me?
You don't care about the treatment. You don't believe that the treatment is real, and you think the only thing you should do is go to hormone treatment therapy.
No, I didn't
and also,
say that.
you think that PTSD.
When did I say the only thing
also,
you
you
should
think
do is
that
this?
people with PTSD, it kind of works there, but if you have severe depression as an incel, it won't work there.
Yeah, didn't say that either.
That's what you're saying.
You know, you're just strawmanning me.
Sure, I'll strawman until you correct me.
Okay, so anyway, are there alternative therapies which you can recommend?
You don't even know what
Which-
CBT is. So what
which-
therapies do you know about?
Okay,
CBT
again-
is the most popular, by the way.
Okay, yes. So what?
So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so help me out here. What is psychology?
It's a study.
It's a study.
Yeah, it's a study.
Okay.
Help me out here. Why is therapy bullshit?
I didn't say therapy is bullshit. Okay? What I was talking about was psychology being bullshit. There can be therapeutics, I said, which work. 1,000 times I've said this. There can be therapeutics which work.
Which ones?
But if you're talking about therapists...
Which ones?
Well, especially for people, so the ones that I'm familiar with are people who have PTSD, and there seem to be therapeutics which work inside of these groups who've gone through very similar experience, and them being able to discuss and form communities around these types of things. But I'm not sure that it's because of the discussions as much as it is about the community they're forming.